In my criticism of the NDP online, the director of digital outreach for the NDP emailed me with concerns. While I appreciate and understand where they were coming from and where they were trying to correct me, I think that sharing with you what I wrote in response to them is a great way to understand my opinions on the NDP as they are now. And for reference, when I sent this email on January 29th of this year, the NDP were polling between 16 and 19%. Now they're between 9 and 13%. That's a little bit of foreshadowing that maybe I was right. I understand where you're coming from, but my point about the third party still stands. There is less goodwill given to parties outside of the established duopoly, and the comments made lent themselves to the suggestion that there were traitors or otherwise reasons to suspect severe tampering. This wasn't acted upon by the NDP. Mark Carney is about to eat your lunch on high-information leftist voters who are turning away from the NDP as they don't see a direct opportunity with the party to increase the material conditions of their lives. I'm using the language of the NDP to talk to the NDP. The party has strayed too far from its worker roots, and that is eroding credibility. The issue with aligning your comments with Trudeau right now is that he's on his way out, and even his own party is distancing themselves from him. Comparing comments to Justin's does not lend credibility. It removes credibility. The NDP has also painted itself into a corner with the election calls. Most NDP supporters don't support an early election, and Jagmeet has consistently put himself at odds with his own public declarations. This is not an indictment on his character, simply an acknowledgement that in this game of political poker, his bluffs are increasingly obvious. The NDP needs to inspire. To do that, they need to identify themselves as different from what the Liberals are offering. Beyond that, in places like Ontario, the Ontario NDP is having a similar identity crisis when it comes to sticking to their worker and identity roots. The Sarah Jama situation is flipping NDP voters red out of spite, especially as the party veers to a more centrist ideology. We have a political spectrum for a reason, and the NDP operate best when that place on the spectrum is clearly defined and consistently advocated for. The NDP did not reply to my email.